What's going on, guys? We're here back in my hotel room from the first day of the RLCS World Championship. Lighting's going to suck, and I have no idea how the audio is going to sound, so we'll see if I even post this on YouTube. But I don't know. Just felt like I was sitting here about to go shower to get to end the night. It's only 8 o'clock here, but we got to get up early and just relax, after a long day of World Championship play. But just wanted to recap what we've been seeing / what the experience is like here. So real quick, let's go down the line. First, probably the coolest moment I think I had at this World Championship already was immediately. It was me and Turtle. We were walking. We had about 10 minutes before the pre-show, and he was casting the first game. So he had to go to the casting booth, and I had to go to the desk. Makeup was a little late. Rehearsals were a little late. Chaos. It happens when you go to a venue. But so we start walking, and I was like, Turtle, we're going to walk through the stadium because we had to go to the other side of the arena. And it was basically it was a curve. I guess I can't really do it with my hand, but it was like a curve where we could have walked on the outside and under some of the stands. But no, Turtle, we're gonna walk. We're gonna walk through, and we're gonna see these fans and see, if anyone, cheers or whatever. And it was so awesome. There was not that many people, maybe 50 to 100, if that, where they were sitting, because obviously pre-show, everyone's still mingling, and it's a Friday. But we do that, and people just start roaring for me and Turtle. It was so cool. Turtle's face lit up. He's like, dude, that was awesome. And I'm just letting Turtle walk. I'm praising him and stuff, and everyone's cheering for him. Fantastic. It was so cool. All the fans were incredibly nice to me every single time I was walking, either to go down the stands, to go back to the player lounge, or just walking around in general. Fans were just yelling, Gibbs, Gibbs, Gibbs from the crowd. It was awesome. I didn't get to stop and take too many pictures until the end of the day. End of the day was great. Security got really mad at me because I guess they wanted to kick everyone out as soon as the show was over, but everyone is wanting pictures and wanting things signed. I even got baby bottles somewhere over here from a fan. It was awesome. The fans were incredibly nice. Thank you guys so much. It was really, really cool. And I'll be around. I'm going to try tomorrow morning to roam the arena to get more pictures. And also at the end of the day, I'll be around, hopefully. So I got in trouble a little bit, a little thing where we're supposed to do a post-mortem, I guess, at the end of our casting days. Normally we do it, not at the World Championship, we do it at for the normal production shows for back at the studio, I should say. So I kind of missed most of the post-mortem because of all the pictures, so whoops, didn't realize that, but I will try my best to be available at the end of the day and to take as many pictures, sign as many things as I possibly can. So definitely come look out for me if you guys are coming back. But let's get into the games, and let's get into just pretty much everything. So we started the day. It was a little rough. We had a lot of issues, which makes the day a little longer. It was funny. We were joking. We basically had a pre-show, had one match, then had another pre-show for the second match only. We had to fill for a while. It was with the South America boys, but Chamaco, man, whew, that's the way that you join an RLCS show. He had to fill for 30 minutes up at the desk, and he killed it. It was great talking to him about Loki, about INTZ, just learning about these teams, learning about what these guys want from this experience. And it was just cool seeing all these players, obviously, throughout Media Day and all that, just talking with everyone. It's been really cool. It's always cool to see the players that return. Farah, he actually walked up to me at one point when I was talking to some of the Psionics guys, and he's like, hey, what's up, man? All that stuff. And it's so funny because, season one, extremely quiet and obviously and not really, he broke out of his shell there as well, too. But it's just cool to see, how much these guys grow. We always talk about that with Garrett G, where he was a nervous little kid the first season. Now it's he's a superstar. He knows how to interview and all that stuff. It's really cool to see. So that was really cool. But let's go over the games. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. In case you missed it, make sure you watch. I think we were close to, 100K? I'm not sure if we actually hit it on Twitch, but probably across YouTube and stuff. We were probably around 100K, which is pretty cool. Hopefully it expands on day 2 and 3. Saturday and Sundays are always bigger. Also for the fans, Saturday and Sundays are awesome because the crowd's going to be packed. Going to get a lot more families, a lot more kids who are super excited to see G2, which is probably going to happen, which is pretty cool that we get both games of G2 on Saturday because there's probably a lot of kids out there, big fans of Rizzo and stuff like that. So it'll be cool to see them be excited about that. But let's go through the schedule. It's weird. On Wikipedia, they kind of show it in a weird way. They don't show it in order necessarily. So, first series of the day, Barcelona Renegades. It was Barcelona clapped them. It was honestly that was it. Renegades really didn't show up all that well. A lot of good goal line defense for Barcelona. I think there was more chances for Renegades to score. The few like double tap attempts that they had where they like have to put it home, they just got to score those at some point. When Barcelona's goal line defense has been so good, Barcelona they got some chances. Alpha, great midfield intercept game. Game 2 was that highlight for me from him where they just weren't allowing Renegades to get those passing plays going. But game 3, Renegades, it seemed like they were turning the corner on that series. They just couldn't find the back of the net. Some incredible saves from Barcelona to get that 3-0 win. And again, because of these groups are so short, only 2 games, and only 2 can make it out, game differential can be a huge problem for some of these teams, and it's going to cost Renegades very likely a day 3 spot. We'll go more into detail about that in a little bit. But moving on, excuse me. We had, what was the next game? Cloud9 Low-Key. Low-Key kept it close, man. They had some close games. Cloud9 pulled it out in the end. It was a little sketchy, Cloud9, but I feel like their first games of every World Championship are always a little bit sketchy. They were 1-2 in season 4 through 6. Some memorable losses to, what was it, PSG. They obviously lost in season 6 to TSM as well, or Weedham Girls, whatever. So it's always a little worrying about Cloud9 in their very first series, but they came out 2-0 in the whole series. We'll just go over to the Triple Trouble game as well. They won 3-1. Relatively close series, and trying to think of what happens. My brain is just fried. Oh, yeah, that was the one with Squishy, the redemption, man. He misses a wide open net in game number 1, 25 seconds left. Hands in his head, like at that point, when they lose, where Ronicky scores, 10 seconds later, then they lose in overtime. But they bounce back. Should have been a 3-0, but they get the 3-1. Cloud9 moves on as the first place in Group D, and we'll see them on Sunday. So they won't play tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about, if you're a big Cloud9 fan, don't have to worry about watching them, but you can worry about your other NA faithfuls if you have them, or even European faithfuls. Who knows? Maybe you're rooting for Sam or OC. Do what you got to do. Anyway, going back to Group C then, so we'll finish it off so we can talk about tiebreakers, which is my favorite part of every video. I love talking about them. We have Rogue with the big upset over Barcelona. This game, like that series, probably the biggest surprise of the day by far, just because we normally have like the number 1 seeds. Like Energy has been talking about it in previous seasons where like they didn't like being the number 1 seed because they would have to play the winner of a series where someone already played at the World Championship, and it was so difficult. And those series are always so close, or we get upsets a lot because of that, where the other team gets their land nerves out. They have momentum too. 2 huge advantages on land, but they would run into the number 1 seed. So the number 1 seed should win that. But the problem was, a lot of times, for at least NA's sake, it didn't happen that way. PSG's done it before to Cloud9. Energy's fallen twice to that scenario. Dignitas almost fell last season to EG. So it was like the great equalizer. But now the tables are flipped, where we purposely scheduled this out to give disadvantages to the lower seeds when that would happen, because we can't obviously have everyone play their first game versus someone else who's already played their first game. So it was kind of on purpose a little bit to give disadvantages in those ways. And 2 of those teams were going to have the worst disadvantage, or because of the groups, where Group C and D had to play 2 games today. So Rogue coming in like the most disadvantage you could possibly have, plus the 4th NA seed, where a lot of people thought they might even be 5th or 6th best at this point, and everyone's saying Space Station should have won, yada yada. Space Station choked, and after like not the greatest dream hack, like Barcelona didn't have one either. Like Rogue almost made it to day 3, but no expectations there from Rogue, and that should have been Barcelona's series to win just because of that momentum alone. And you expect them, number 2 seed in Europe, to be better than a number 4 seed in North America. But the best part about that Rogue series, Kronovi didn't have to do a lot, which is like probably the first time we've said that all year long, where AJ and Wonder just really stepped up, some key plays from them, and that was the surprise, that AJ and Wonder were the ones carrying that team forward. It's not saying that Crow played bad necessarily. He just didn't have to do everything, which is fantastic for Rogue going forward into bracket stage if they get there. Now we'll talk about tiebreakers real quick. So right now Barcelona is 1-1, but their game differential is +1. They won 4 games. They lost 3. So no matter what, they're into day 2, because say all 3 teams tie at 1-1. Well, if someone has a game differential of +1 to equal it out across the entire group, someone's got to be negative, right, to equal that out back to 0, because that's how game differential works. One team goes up, the other goes down. It has to equal 0. So Barcelona, they're through to day number 2 because of that 1 win and because of their sweep over Renegades. Now here's the issue where it comes out for Renegades, where because they got swept, they have to sweep Rogue. They have to sweep Rogue to take Rogue out and to advance in front of them. Now, that's because they're at a -3 game differential. They'll go even, and Rogue's at +2 right now. They would go to -1. So that's the only way, because if they go 3-1, Rogue's even, Renegades is at -1. Rogue can get first place in the group if they get 2 wins. They don't need to win the series. They just need to win 2 games, and they will get the first place in the group because it'll go to game differential first. And the way that the tiebreakers works is it's game differential, then goal differential. But if in game differential a team is separated out of those ties, either in first or last, then we move back to game differential again. So then it would go to like head to head. So in that case, Renegades would fall down and be in last place, and then Barcelona and Rogue would actually tie at +1. And if that happens, Rogue beat Barcelona. Rogue would get the #1 seed from Group C. So that's how all of that works out. So that's the only playoff scenarios you have to worry about. Now let's move back up to and real quick for Group D, Low Key and Triple Trouble, they play tomorrow. It's win or go home at this point for them. They're both 0-1. Only one can be 1-1. Obviously, the other will fall 0-2. So it doesn't matter about their series score. Cloud9's got first in that group. They're playing for second place in that group. And that'll fall onto the pseudo-European side of the bracket. But basically, it's whoever comes in second there plays the winner of Group C. And whoever comes in second in Group C plays Cloud9. So Barcelona probably doesn't want to play Cloud9. Even though they did dominate them at DreamHack Leipzig, it's still probably not a series you want to play. I think you would rather play Triple Trouble or Low Key because Barcelona is Triple Trouble's kryptonite. So we'll see if that changes. If Triple Trouble wins that group, or I'm sorry, gets second, Barcelona has to win the group. The only way they do that is if Renegades beats Rogue, and they have to beat them 3-1, was it? Yeah, I think it was 3-1. So if that happens, then Barcelona will win the group. 3-1 or 3-0, and Barcelona wins it. So that's what Barcelona's hoping for if you're a fan there. Moving back up, go over to Energy INTZ. This was, like, it was a mixture, right? It was like Energy, they, I felt like they were incredibly sold. Like, so game one, it really did feel like disrespect just a bit. Like, Justin is trying to go for these fancy aerial dribbles that just never really connected when, like, I feel like if they just push the ball to the backboard, force them to make backboard clears, I think they might be better off. Because say Justin just pushes that ball to the backboard, he can conserve a lot of boost, he can reposition for a play, and boost them. Instead of going for this aerial dribble where he's going for something fancy, which, like can work from time to time, but he's using all his boost. He's not in any position after the 50-50 to do a lot, so he's got to leave. And it just wasn't really working. Gyarados had like kind of a freestyle goal. Like, I don't know if that was necessarily on purpose, but it just kind of happened that way. Then after that, INTZ looked good, man. They were fast to every single ball, and that was one thing that I saw, at least the first 3 games. I thought Fireburner did not play well whatsoever in those first 3 games. I felt like he was really slow to every single ball or just some poor touches. Like, I think there were some nerves there, maybe their first series of, the World Championship. There's definite nerves. Hopefully he figures that out. It seemed like games 4 and 5 he was playing a lot better, and they pull out the win. But INTZ, man, they're looking scary. They were really fast, just attacking everything and winning a lot of these challenges, which doesn't happen a lot to Energy. So a bit of surprise there, but Energy does pull it out in 5 games. Very close set. But once again, if tiebreakers happen where everyone goes 1-1 in this group, which now is looking like it's possible that PSG beats Energy, and who knows, INTZ could take out PSG. We don't know. That could be really, really interesting to see because INTZ, sure, they have a loss, but again, in Game 5, that's very good for tiebreakers. So we'll see how that goes. I actually want to look at the goal differential there because that could come into play. Goal differential was 12 goals for INTZ to 11 goals for Energy. So actually, INTZ actually has a better goal differential right now. So that looks really, really strong for them if it does go where every single series goes 1-1 and all go to 5 games, like depending on how the goal differentials go in those other series. But not looking terrible for INTZ. But of course, they have to take down PSG. No easy task. Other group, real quick, Vitality versus Ground Zero Gaming. Ground Zero, they very competitive. I feel like OC number 2. We say it's OC number 2. It's not always OC number 2. It's just the team that's not the Chiefs or Renegades. But like 0-8 through the 4 World Championships that they've been at. But they've been competitive in the last 2, that's for sure. The first 2 was like, all right, yeah, they are looking a little outclassed. But the last two have been incredibly close. If you go back even to Jules when he was playing, where they almost beat Envy and they gave up 3 goals in a minute 30 or something like that to lose that series. So they can definitely play up to these teams, but they never can find the win, and that's what I want to see from Ground Zero. They didn't look like, I don't know, like it was close, but at the same time, it did feel like it was always Vitality series. The last game went to overtime. Vitality takes it, and they take the series. Scrub, 67% shooting percentage, absolutely insane from him. He got Player of the Day there. He played really, really well, and we'll see. See how Vitality does. I still think they're not unbeatable right now. Same with Energy, honestly. It's really funny because we thought maybe, like, obviously DreamHack Dallas we were going to make those expectations a little bit less. But for day one, like, best teams looking on day one was Cloud9 and Rogue, right, at some point. But at the same time, it was a little bit shaky of play, I think, from everyone. But I think that's to be expected at a World Championship. There's always nerves. So everyone usually plays down. And that's why it's like, if Cloud9, like a team that's so successful in LAN, it's usually that they're playing about the same as they always play. And then everyone else plays down to them because obviously the nerves come into play and all that stuff. So Cloud9, and that's not to say that when they play like normal, they're bad. They're still one of the best in the world. It just seems like it doesn't phase them as much. But yeah, so that's all we got so far. Great day overall, and hopefully no tech issues tomorrow, so we can get through the day a little bit quicker. But that'd be nice. Or we just see more Game 5, so it's about the same length. That would be fun too. But overall, a lot of fun, and excited for day number 2. Cloud9 again. They're the only team set in a spot for day number 3 bracket. We won't see them, but tomorrow we get to see G2 and PSG for the very first time. A lot of fun though, man. I'm having a lot of fun. We're all having a lot of fun. The arena is amazing. The screens are great. They're like, so not only are they big because it's a Titantron, it's a hockey arena, but they're also like HD and they look really good. I think the only problem is like it's like 30 frames a second, if that. But it looks nice. It's just a little bit, framey, obviously, because it's such a big screen. But it looks really, really good. It's great because we can just turn around from where we are on the desk and just watch. And it's really, really cool. Having a lot of fun and excited for day number 2. Hopefully you guys are too. Hopefully you guys checked it out. If not, only for rewards, go get the rewards. Whatever. Do what you got to do. But hopefully you're watching the game, having a good time. I think most people are. And yeah, that's about it. We will see you guys tomorrow, day number 2. I'm stoked. This was a longer video than expected. Sorry, I have my suit bag back there. See that? Yeah, a little messy in here. Sorry about that. But that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't get anything signed from me and you're here, or you didn't say hi or anything, just come maybe hang by the desk at the end of the day. I'll try and get to as many people as I can. The problem is I might have to leave to do postmortem and all that. So it's hard because security wants to kick us out. One other thing. Shout out to Barcelona, man. They were so incredibly nice. They gave me this beautiful, like it looks like a ring box. Look at this. Obviously my webcam is backwards, I guess, which I didn't realize, or mirrored. But this beautiful ring box, and then it comes in. There's a pin in here. It's like so awesome. And they say they give it to all their football players and all that stuff, so like Messi and all them. But beautiful pin there. And I told them if they make the grand finals, I'll pop that bad boy on. I'll pop it on for them. But super nice of FC Barcelona, and also super nice of Dick and Cost for the after party last night. Or not an after party, but they were opening up their little space over there next to the Prudential Center. So that was really, really cool. And got to hang out with VIP. Got to talk some roster moves, but, can't talk about those right now. But some exciting stuff going on there. So it was a lot of fun just hanging out with everyone, Hanging out with the casters, hanging out with the players, hanging out with the fans. That's what it's all about, That's why you want to come to a World Championship. So if you're not here this time, make sure you come next time. But that'll do it for me. Maybe we'll have a day 2 recap. Maybe we'll do a little bracket prediction at the end of the day 2 recap. Maybe. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, that's it for me. Catch you guys later. Peace.